Hello people, back with another video. I was just doing a bit of experimenting since yesterday actually. I do remember a time where Tommy, well he said a few times, people use his name to get views. So that was part of why I had his name in the title. I want to show you something. There you go. So this is the first video I put out. I only had my name. Okay, didn't have Tommy's at all. So yeah, as you see with my name, it had 96 views. Granted, this was from 4 days ago. Now I put Tommy's name here, and I've got 69 views, and Tommy's name again about 6 hours later after that, and it came to 32 views. I believe the majority of these views here actually came from people who watched my original video. Okay, so I don't really think, maybe last year Tommy's name had some pull, but realistically, not this time. Now the reason, well, not this year, sorry. Now the reason I'm going to show you something else actually, because you can usually tell how big someone really is when someone else makes a video with that individual's name. Depending on what kind of views they get, it says a lot about what kind of pull the individual, well, the other individual who the video is about, what kind of pull that person has. Now I want to show you something. I typed in Tommy Sotomayor for today, so we're not going to look at his own channels, because with your own channels you can fake the funk, as Tariq Nasheed likes to say. But I want to see the kind of pull that other people are getting, bringing up Tommy's name. So Sarah Johnson, this individual has 68 videos, so 698 subscribers. When she mentions Tommy's name, she's had 45 views in the last 10 hours. 20 views. This person got 101 views. They got subscribers, 323 subscribers. This person has 32 views. Talking about Tommy, 7 views from 14 hours ago. 9 views, no views. So this is people bringing up Tommy's name. Now last year when I was making videos about Tommy, I used to get quite a substantial amount of numbers. Within the first hour or two, I'd have hundreds, and sometimes after a day, I'd have over 1,000. So it seems that now I say that to say this. I'll take it back to here. Now, usually when people start buying more subscribers, it's usually when they're starting off and they want to get their name up, so they want those organic followers, or they do it because their YouTube channel's going down, so they need a bit of a stimuli. So what better than to buy more subscribers, make yourself look more popular, and hopefully real subscribers will come out of it. It makes perfect sense to do that. Now, that's just a small part of it. This is what I'm thinking anyway. I'll probably come back to this another time, but I want to bring up this whole car issue with the Tommy's Denali. Now, I saw him make quite a few comments now over the course when he got that car. Now, he made a video on his Sotomayor Dig channel. Someone was asking about the car. Tommy told the individual that he bought the car. At first, he was just renting it out or whatever. Then he decided he liked it so much that he bought the car, and he showed he had 2 keys, and you can only have 2 keys if you've bought the car. Now, silly Tommy, he then made the video trying to show off to people, and it had his name, and obviously it showed that he hadn't bought the car, that he was actually financing it on an 8-year plan. Now, I wasn't aware that 8-year plans even existed. It just seemed like a ridiculous thing to me. Now, he got called out on it. Apparently, I saw the video through Stupidity Exodus's channel. So Tommy got called out on it, and he removed the video. And it's true, I mean, 8-year plan. That's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever come across. But this is what I thought was quite funny. He told 3 people, this is just how much Tommy likes to argue and fall out with people. Over the course of less than 2 weeks, he told 3 separate people that his car costs more than their house. I was on Styles' chat room, I was just looking, and Tommy came in there to tell Styles that his car costs more than Styles' house. And he told that black lady the same thing, and he told someone else that as well. So, but the thing is that the car doesn't, because obviously it costs just over $70,000. So Tommy was factoring all the extras he was paying because he couldn't afford to buy it outright, the financing option, that kind of thing. So realistically, who's having the last laugh? If, say, Tommy's car did cost more than someone's house, as we all know, property is an asset that's just going to it's going to appreciate over time, whereas a car is going to depreciate. So over 8 years, which is how long Tommy's plan is, that car isn't even going to be worth an individual's garage realistically, whilst that other individual, their property is going to be worth a lot more than the car. Now, let's add the fact that that car isn't actually worth $120,000, and let's also add the fact that Tommy only paid $9,000 towards that car. So, A, you were wrong, your car isn't worth more than a house because it was only $70,000. The car itself isn't worth more than a house when you bought it brand new. You overinflated how much the price of the car was. So yeah, the car isn't worth more than a house, and on top of that, you've only paid 9,000 towards it. So technically, until you've paid off the rest of that financing, you're actually in debt. So the person who owns a house is actually better off than yourself because you don't own a house and you currently don't even own that vehicle. So let's just put things into perspective on that note. Now, I want to tell you why Tommy told you guys that his car's worth $120,000. Now, this is a bitter feud that Tommy's had with Tariq Nasheed for quite a long time now. Now, a while ago, he was showing some girl. He said she came from Amsterdam. To see him. Apparently, he claims her dad paid for her to go and see him. It's one of those ridiculous stories. I'll tell you why Tommy came out with that BS. Tariq Nasheed was doing a tour and he was in Holland, okay, and he was talking about a light-skinned woman, the same description as the one that Tommy went and flew in and pretended that her dad sent her there. So Tommy, being the simp that he is, he thought, oh God, I'm not going to let Tariq have light-skinned women being all over him whilst he's actually in Holland. So Tommy concocted this ridiculous story that a guy would send his she was reasonably attractive, an attractive girl to go see Tommy, knowing what Tommy's all about. Whatever. But anyway, I will take it back to this whole Tommy claiming his Denali's worth $120,000, worth more than most people's houses. It's because, again, Tommy trying to compete with Tariq. Tariq owns an Escalade, okay? The one he owns is actually worth $120,000. Unlike Tommy, Tariq actually bought the Escalade, okay? And the Escalade is worth $120,000. That's the price of it. Now, Tommy, he couldn't afford an Escalade, and he couldn't even afford the Denali. But he thought the Denali was close enough to the Escalade. So Tommy added another, so the Denali's worth around 70k, so 80, 90, 30, yeah. So Tommy added another 50k of what the value of his actual car actually was, and Tommy only paid 9k towards it anyway. So yes, the real reason that Tommy was telling lies and telling everyone his car was worth $120,000 is because Tariq drives $120,000 vehicle. That's one of his vehicles. He has two. So Tommy, as usual, trying to compete with Tariq Nasheed. Okay, so again, people, don't let Tommy try and boost up his own, all that BS, telling everyone his car costs more than someone else's house. Isn't that a tasteless thing to say? Like, once you'd feel, I'm sure you should have, well, a normal person would feel embarrassed the first time around, but then saying it another 2 times when your vehicle it's not actually worth more than a property, even a horrible property. At least it's going to go up in value in most places anyway. That car right now, I don't think it's even worth $40,000 if I'm honest. So you try to play with the big boys with Tariq. You couldn't quite get there, so you had to lie. You couldn't afford, even if the Denali was 70,000 K, you couldn't afford to pay it in one anyway. You'd still have to do a financing deal. You'd probably go on a 4-year plan or whatever. The thing here is, I think Tommy needs to humble himself, okay? He needs to stop acting like something that he isn't, okay? Throwing the value of a car, or the value that you're going to have to pay anyway, over someone else, over petty arguments, just seems ridiculous. Going into Styles' chat room just to tell him this, like, why were you so... And this is what made me laugh about Tommy. Before he got the Denali, he was hardly doing any videos from it. As soon as that came about, all his videos, he was trying to be in front of it, just talking about it all the time. And no one actually cared about the Denali, if I'm honest. Tommy was trying to force it down people's throats. I take it because he was on such a shitty finance plan. He felt, well, hey, if I'm paying this much for a car, everyone needs to know about it. And this just goes back to what I'm saying. He's trying to appear like something he is not, okay? He's not as popular as he's trying to make out. It doesn't matter. I'm just doing this video for fun, just pointing out some of the bullshit. I'm not even being serious yet. I'm probably going to turn things up a bit later. And then we're going to get down with some flagging as well when I get the time. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I'm just having a bit of fun right now. And yeah, I'm going to start pointing out bullshit whenever I see it. So I saw it and I pointed it out. Anyway, I'll be back soon. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I think I'm gonna expand things a bit. So I'm gonna start a news channel. But it's just gonna be actual news, things that are going on, and I'll probably have a separate channel. Probably do hangouts on that. That might be in regards to whatever news I've put out. So the news channel, it's not going to be like Tommy's, where I turn everything into about me and my life, or where he turns everything into him and black women, and how some story of some woman murdering her kids relates to him, even though it's got nothing to do with him. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, just keep an eye out. Okay, this is going to be a long one. I'm actually off for quite a while, so I've got plenty of time, and I'm going to do what needs to be done. Anyway, bye.